let's get into this Cavs Warriors situation. And
Sorry,
is this the first time y'all ever talked about this?
Yes.
Come on. Sorry, Drake. Come on. You know that was coming.
Listen,
that was the fastball.
The amount of times I see T. Lue, like I see T. Lue at private events. We're part of the same family. And we've never spoke about this. And the fact that we starting this podcast and that's what you want to talk about.
Man, I'm on one today, bro.
Y'all could have took Draymond Green out of the show today. This just could have been the Baron Davis show today. If that's what you wanted to start this show off talking about it. But since you want to talk about it, let's talk about it then. I got something to say too.
Let's talk about it. T. Lue, were you worried the first two games, especially the last time y'all saw the Warriors in the finals? They won the last 3 games. And then, Draymond, you can talk about, in the finals, how y'all felt the first 2 games. But, Coach, walk us through this series. What was the mentality? And feel free, Coach, you say whatever you want. You know what I mean? On this show.
Well, for me, it was like, you go through the Eastern Conference, and it's a different style of basketball. Until you actually play the Golden State Warriors and see the speed and the pace that they play with, you can't duplicate it. We had a lot of time to prepare, but you can't prepare for the speed, you can't prepare for the shot making and how hard they run their stuff. And so when we got to Golden State for those first 2 games, man, we couldn't keep we were just they were just playing so fast. And what happens is a lot of people get, they go crazy about the threes that Clay and Steph, whatever's going to make, but you lose sight of, shit, they got 60 points in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you wanted to step them, you trying to do, and now you got Drake, one of the best passers in the league. As soon as you go out to help Steph, they slip, they're getting dunks, they're getting layups. And so you kind of lose sight of everything else because you're so worried about Clay and Steph, coming off screens. And so those first 2 games, it was hard to make adjustments because shit, it was a blowout. It was getting beat by 25, 24. So, how do you really adjust? But, I think the adjustment we made was really good for us because, when you play them, you think about, we want to switch everything. We want to, and they just pick you apart.
Yeah.
Any mistake, they're going to pick you apart. So, look at the film over and over and over again. When game 3 came, I said, you know what? We're only going to switch Steph and Clay's when they come together in splits.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, we're gonna just drop back, you chase and follow, and then we'll protect you. If Barbosa pops back, if Iguodala pops back, if Sean Livingston pops back, we'll live with the results. But you can't switch everybody. They were just too good.
It's too much chaos,
And you got J.R. Smith chasing Steph full speed, and now you got to stop and kept trying to go back.
Yeah.
It was too much. And so, listen, if Steph and Clay come together, switch. If not, you're on your own. You got Steph and you got Clay. And that really helped us out, a lot. And so what people don't understand is, after the first 2 games, I didn't show film. Because sometimes Brian will be upset and he'll be in the back rolling his eyes. So I said, you know what? I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to stay positive. Everything we do, we shot half-court shots. We just did a lot of different stuff. And then when we won game 3, then that was a game I kind of showed all our mistakes, what we need to clean up, what we need to get better at, because when you win a game, it's easier to kind of show that stuff. So they came back and won game 4. I didn't show no film. And so David Griffin was like, man, what the hell is Tyronn Lue doing? I'm like, bro, you don't understand. You just relax. I got it, And so, but it was, I mean, playing them every single night, man, it's just tough. The pace they play at, people don't understand until you actually in it.
Yeah, and then, speaking up, well, Dre, I'll let you talk in a minute, but speaking up on game 4, one of the biggest turning points of the series, and then you find out Draymond wasn't going to play game 5. What was the adjustments going from game 4 to game 5? Because once y'all tied it up, I like watching the series because I felt like every game after game 3, it was like somebody went back and made key adjustments to make the game that much stickier, right?
Yeah, I mean, so, they win game 4, and I thought we played, good enough to win. But they win game 4, and then we got to go back to Golden State, for game 5. and then we get the news that, Draymond was going to be out. So for us, that was something for us, like to automatic pick our pressure up. Like, now we got to pick our pressure up. We got to deny, we got to extend, because they didn't have, like, Iguodala could make plays like in transition, but Dre was more of the half court passer, and so he's basically the point guard. And so when he was out, we knew we had to pick our pressure up to try to take them out of everything they try to do, and so it's a funny story when we get to game 7, and I think you probably don't remember Draymond, but if you go back and watch the game, so at the end of the game, we were up 3, and we went over, like, y'all's need 3 plays. We went over every single day for 3 weeks straight, but one of the games were close. So we did. So Kyrie and Bron, like, man, we doing this shit again. I'm like, man, you never know. It's going to come down to something. And so for each play, we had different guys guarding different positions. And so when they came out to run a need 3 play, Dre was taking it out, and we jumped into our formation, and Dre was kind of looking like, what's going on? So we deflected the ball out of bounds. So then they go to their second need 3 play. They switched it, and our players was guarding somebody different, and we was able to take it away. And then so Bron said, man, it came down to games. So I said, you never know. Like, you got to work on it every single day, because you never know when you're going to need it. And so every day we work on the need 3s. They're like, man, ain't none of the games been close. Why are we doing this? And then game 7, it came down to it. Big for us.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. What up, BD?
Welcome to the party. Come on, Dre.
I appreciate you.
Speak your piece.
I don't have much to say. We lost. But what I will say is, now, it's crazy because in playing in those series, like, it prepared us in moving forward to know how to make those adjustments, because it was a chess match. Like, every time we would play from game to game, they make this move, we make this move. They move their queen, we move our rook. We move our, like, that's what those series were. Obviously, when I got suspended for game 5, it changed everything. But also, their adjustment, it's interesting because their adjustment to pick up the pressure is obviously how they took over and won the game. Because when you get in a lot of series and a key piece like that gets moved, normally your game plan stay the same, right? Because you like, we've been playing this team, your game plan stay the same. And then you come out there and you get blasted. Like, it happened to us a couple years ago when we won a championship. We played Memphis in game 4, game 5 or something like that, and Ja was hurt. Oh, it was game 5. They beat us by 60. Because we didn't, like, there was no adjustment. Like, you didn't know what team you was about to play. Whereas opposed to you've been preparing for this one team and you know the adjustments that you need to make. It's a different team now. And so that's an interesting adjustment. But no, when game 5, it changed everything. Like, we're going home, and obviously they're going to make an adjustment. But, for us, we're going home to close out this series. And that's the mindset. Then I get suspended, and I'll never forget, I was watching that game next door at the A's game, and I had on all black. I had on some black Nike combat boots, and I had my route down and everything. I'm like, yeah, we're going to win this game, and I'm taking the long route to the court so I can walk past all of the Cavs when they walk into the locker room with their head down, and I'm in all black, and I'm mobbing in there. And it just didn't work out for us, man. I was sitting in that suite watching the game, and I didn't recognize the team I was watching. Like, it just looked like a different team to me. And so then to come back game 6, like, we lost game 6 and game 5. Like, there was 0% chance we were going to Cleveland and win game 6. So we had already lost game 6 and game 5. And then we end up in game 7, and T. Lue game plan is to make me beat them. And I had the game of my life. And ultimately,
he had 5 threes in the first half.
Man, I was there. I was at that game.
But like, something about coaching, Day is like, when you got the control of your team and they respect you and they trust you, like, you have 5 threes at halftime, and then not one player come in crying about, like, that's the game plan. Like, like, he can make shots, but if we keep Steph and Clay from, making 7, 8 threes, and we keeping the ball out of their hands, like, that's what we want to do. And you got to think, for the best team in NBA history, record-wise, like, we held y'all to 89 points in game 7.
89 points.
Just, you know what I'm saying? So, like, And we just stuck with it. Like,
Yeah.
and JR, like I said, JR Smith was huge in that third quarter coming out. But like, it just, and you had the best game of your life, but.
You know what's crazy though, T. Lue? Is that game, and it was a mixture of that game and then also KD coming. And so the mixture of that game and me like shooting the lights out, scoring at will, having I scored 31 or 33 or something like that.
35.
35, and we only had 89 points, and I have 35. And so me being the player that I am, which is 70% cerebral, KD coming in, which means I have to kind of take more of a backseat anyway, right? Like, but at the same time, that's coming on the heels of me just having 35 and we lost. And so now my mindset ends up turning to, well, they want me to take this shot because I just had 35 in game 7 and we lost. So then I stopped shooting, right? Like, because I'm like, oh, they want me to take the shot. In turn, I then spent 2.5 years with zero confidence in my shot and just DHO and find creative ways to get Steph and Klay involved because I didn't want to shoot because I lost all confidence. But a part of me losing confidence was that game and not taking the shot and taking the shots, right? Like, and actually making them. But we ain't win. So I'm like, that's the mindset. They want me to shoot. So I'm not going to shoot because they're game planning to make me shoot. So why would I shoot? And then it led down to this whole path of like, then being like afraid to shoot, like, and losing my confidence in my shot and like hesitating and then having to get over that mental hurdle. It all started for me there, which was crazy because it was your game plan. But then it became a part of my mind of like, that's the game plan. Why would I shoot?
But now you're back to shooting 40-some% from three again.
And turning to T. Lue, telling him, don't let me shoot tonight, goddamn.
Man, this is therapeutic. This is therapeutic, man. That's a hell of a moment. A full circle moment. That's hella therapeutic, man. I'm glad, T. Lue. See, we got that. The hardest part, we got out the way. Now we can go on.
So I have to ask this question. And speaking of that game 7, I've heard all of the stories, and quite honestly, I've ignored them because that's just a dark moment in my life. But there was some story about you collecting money that you left in the ceiling or something let me in on this story. I need to know more because next time we play y'all in a meaningful series, I'm going in that locker room the night before and taking that money.
Oh, man. So after we won game 5, all the owners and, the GM, everybody's in the locker room, they celebrating, whatever, everybody's happy. So I go in the locker room and said, everybody give me $200. They're like, what? For what? I was like, I'm going to take it, wrap it up, I'm going to put it in the ceiling, and we come back and get our money for game 7. And so where I got that from was from, Doc Rivers. We played the Lakers in 2009. We played the Lakers during the regular season. It might have been Christmas, and they blew us out. Like, they killed us. And so Doc went around the room and collected money from everybody, put the money in the ceiling, said, we coming back for the NBA Finals, and we coming back to get our money. And we came back, and we played in the finals. They beat us that year, but we came back and played in the finals, and the money was still up there, too, in the ceiling. And so I got that from Doc. And so we came back game 7. I'm going to tell you what's crazier than that. You know how cheap LeBron is. So,
oh, man. Golly.
We win a championship, game 7. I go up in the ceiling. The money still is like $4,700 or something like that, right? So shit, I pocket it, you know what I'm saying? And so Bron, they throwing champagne, they whatever. So Bron said, hey, T. Lue, where's that money at, man? I said, man, I went up there, it's missing. I don't know where it's at. We just won a championship, and he's worried about getting $200.
The great LeBron.
That is hilarious because that is exactly how he is. To every
That's
penny.
crazy. He frugal,
Yeah.
huh?
No, I mean, he's generous too. I'm just saying, but like,
He want his money back. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Like,
I need. He earned that. He
Yeah.
need his cut.
Yeah.
Out of pocket it too.
In the middle of popping champagne, you just won a championship, and you asked where the 200s at. Come on, man. Like,
That man don't forget nothing.
But I was just about to say, but interestingly enough, it's less about him being frugal and more about like, dude, don't miss anything. Like,
yeah,
he don't miss nothing.
nothing, man. And like I said, him and Kyrie, like I said, they were special. That final, they were special. Like I said, in Game 5, both of those guys having 40, and just like I said, and once we got to Game 7, like Bron said, give me the Game 7, and I'll do the rest. And so, but bad man.
Yeah. Speaking of Game 7, I mean, everybody talk about the block, and then obviously Kyrie's shot. But is there another play that you feel
Yeah.
people miss that helped secure that title?
Kevin Love, when he switched out on Steph.
Ooh, he sat down.
Hey, dude, he sat down. Woo! That's one of the ultimate sit downs in NBA history, dude.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Because it's crazy because it wasn't supposed to happen. So, I don't want K-Love on Steph.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Something happened and break down where he ended up on Steph. And I mean, K-Love, I give him credit, man. He sat down. He sat down. He guarded 4 or 5 different moves. Forced Steph into a tough shot. But that was a big play. I think we might have been up 3 or maybe 4. I'm not, maybe 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, 3. Yep. Yeah, big stop. And I think that's when Bron got the rebound and got fouled, and then went to the free throw line. Oh, no. Got the stop. Kyrie went coast to coast, threw it to Bron, and you fouled him. And then he went to the line and made it. Yeah, but that was K-Love, man, moving them puppies. Man.
Yeah, he was. It's crazy because we seen like, oh, this is it. Like, we up y'all up 3, like, Steph about to tie it. This is it. Like, we got K-Love on the ice, so it's over. And he was moving. I think it surprised Steph.
I thought he was going to lay it up. Yeah, I thought he was going to lay it
up.
It
might have surprised him.
Yeah.
It probably surprised Steph too, for sure. Because, like, I mean, he was there. He boomed. I was like, damn, okay, K-Love. But I was nervous. I was nervous as hell. Like, I didn't. I'm
man,
like, that was, how did he get on Steph?
That was a moment, dude. I thought Steph was going to drive because he had got a layup. I feel like the play before on the drive, and it was enough time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that switch was like, okay, Steph getting to the step back, and shout out to the Bruin great Kevin Love. We Bruins, we sit down, bro.
Stop it, y'all don't know.
We sit down.
I got a couple people from UCLA that sit down. You, Russ, and Drew.
Keep going, Norm.
Norm don't sit down no more.
Nah.
Wait, hey, hold on.
Norm don't sit down.
Let that thing go.
Hold on. Hey, Norm was just on the show talking about defense.
No. Just keep talking about offense.
Come on, Norm. What happened? He all offense now, T. Lue?
All offense.
And Matt Barnes. That's it. That's all y'all got to say. Oh,
Loon. Come on, Peyton Watson. Zach LaVine.
But Zach LaVine, man, if you don't, Zach don't play no defense. Also, how many in that whole group you just named, how many all defensive teams in that group?
Oh, man, we always get
all right, bet. So we're going to move on then, T. Lue.
Yeah, we're going to move on.
We're going to move on. We're just not going to speak of UCLA like they defense you.
Like, Big 10, baby. We're going to see when that matchup happens.
Y'all don't want to play us. It's nice weather where y'all go to school.
Okay.
Y'all don't want to play us. Don't do that. It's crazy because T. Lue was just saying they decided to switch Clay and Steph stuff. And the way they were guarding us, it was then like, man, and even a little bit before that, like we struggled a bit with OKC, but then we ended up coming back and winning that series. And then it obviously reared its ugly head against the Cavs in a great year. But teams were starting to figure out how to guard us. And so, at that point, we got to figure out what's next. We go sign KD. What's your reaction to that, T. Lue, when you see that?
It's over. Like, it's like, I'm saying, you game plan. Like, I mean, like you said, we thought we figured y'all out. You know what I'm saying? And still, we went back the next year. It could have went either way again. But, like, we thought we had the blueprint on how to guard and how to attack,
Mhm.
you know, how to attack y'all offensively because y'all was always top 5 in
Mhm.
defense. You know what I mean? A big shout out to Ron Adams. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, sir.
but when y'all got KD, it just made it. I mean, come on, you blitz Steph,
Mhm.
and now you got Clay and KD on the weak side.
Yeah.
You know, you short rolling. You got Iguodala for the lob, and you got Clay and KD in the corners. Like it just became,
Come on, dude.
yeah, it just became too hard. Like it was too hard to really, like I said, match up offensively. And y'all was always a great defensive team. So once y'all got KD, I mean, it was like, I mean, it was